Police in Delta State have arrested 4 suspected cultists for allegedly initiating a toddler into their group in Sapele. A viral video circulating online showed the child blindfolded with the suspects poured an alcoholic drink into his mouth as part of the initiation. The toddler could be heard crying as the act was carried out. Confirming the report, Police Public Relations Officer SP Bright Edafe described the act as evil, adding that the suspect had been taken into custody. The Commissioner of Police, CPO Lufemi Abaniwanda, has ordered their immediate transfer to the state headquarters for further investigation. Edafe stated, the disturbing case has reignited public concern about the growing influence of cult groups across southern Nigeria. Earlier this month, Lagos police arrested 5 suspected cultists in Badagry after a violent clash between rival factions. I mean, in all the things we get to see every day, we have another really, disturbing one going on. Let's get your thoughts on it.
I think this is the first time I'm seeing such a report, such a story, and I cannot really comprehend or try to comprehend what they were thinking. Initiating a baby, into cultism. It makes no sense to me. I mean, there's nothing new, like we used to say, there's nothing new under the sun. When you think you have seen it all, you find out that you get to find new things happening in our society. And I'm glad these people have been caught and they should be made to face the law, because how would you do that to a kid to a baby that cannot give consent? I mean, cultism in itself is a bad thing, and risking the kid's life, giving the child alcohol is attempted murder, if you ask me. So they should be charged on all those bases. And where are the baby's parents? I want to believe they are aware, right? So they should be arrested as well, because I don't know how, the baby got into such a mix where the baby is being initiated into cult or it makes no sense to me. But I mean, this is the report, and it's really not a good thing, to speak about in our society nowadays. I don't know if it has happened before, or it's a culture or tradition of any kind. Even if it is, I would like, to know more about that, hopefully. And of course, we should push it, we should kick against it, because it makes no sense, because I believe if they were going to speak about it now, they could say, oh, maybe it's a cultural thing, a traditional thing, which is why every party should be brought in for questioning. The parents, those that are involved, so that we can understand what really went wrong. Because, like I said, initiating the baby into courts is almost makes no sense. But then again, that's what the report says. I want to believe investigations will be done to properly ascertain, what the whole, drama was all about.
All right. Now, oftentimes we've praised, certain people have lots of mixed feelings as regards social media, despite the fact that, with reports like this, you want to tend to lead towards, the good tidings that social media had brought. But I want to gather your thoughts as regard when people commit certain level of atrocities and wickedness. Why do you think the first thought for them is to put on the camera and let it be shown to the world? Why do you think that is? Is it do you think it's an adrenaline rush? Or do you think it's is the need for them to clamor likes and maybe, some social media platforms these days usually pay for viewership if you get a certain amount of people viewing your content? Do you think it is driven more for content creation or just, a high and an adrenaline rush for doing evil?
I want to think, we're in the age of tech, we're in the age of technology, the internet, TikTok, Instagram, and all of that. And like you said, most of these channels, most of these platforms are monetizable now. And for a case like this and similar situations like this, I feel it's more ignorance and illiteracy. Because even if you do such an act, it's not something that you could be proud of to say, oh, let's post this thing online. that's why I'm bringing in, the whole concept of illiteracy and ignorance. They probably felt it's not a big deal. And I mean, we could also say some people don't even know the law and their rights, to what they can do and what they cannot do. So they felt it was probably um, not a big deal, which is why they posted it. I mean, some months back, I think this one is even a much more frequent thing, where you find out that some content creators um, have create content with underage kids, and along the line, the wrong message is passed. Obviously, if you ask me, but for them, they probably didn't know, or they probably thought it was not a big deal, and they posted these things only for the public to, to raise, for outrage to
Right,
rise,
to be
and
an
people
outcry,
started calling them
exactly.
out. Yeah, outcry, and they'll now start apologizing that they had no idea. So I think that's a kind of similar situation. But why it still baffles me is the fact that this is a toddler, for crying out loud, that knows nothing. I mean, not to digress much, but even religion-wise, there are some. I'm not kicking against any tenets or any doctrine, but there are some what's the word to use? In Christianity, right? There are some um churches.
Okay.
Failure of the right word, right? There are some churches that baptize babies.
Right. Okay.
Some group of people will say, "Oh, that does not make sense," because the child cannot even understand. I'm just painting a picture right now.
Right.
So that is religion, and it's accepted in that in that particular. It's a doctrine for some, and it's okay that okay, that's what they do, but and it brings no harm basically. But this one is obviously wrong. Cultism is a bad thing. One, then feeding a child alcohol is also wrong. So there is no, I don't see any shade of it being morally right, which is why I also talked about maybe it's a cultural thing, but still it makes no sense, even if it is a traditional or cultural thing.